The night sky above the colony base was quiet for the first time in weeks. No explosions, no alarms, just silence and stars. Captain Aaron Cross stood alone on the observation deck, staring at the stars that now seemed colder than ever. His mission had been simple: deliver supplies to Outpost Theta on the edge of the Garan Belt. But just days before landing, a strange signal had struck their systems. Half the crew lost control. Others screamed about voices in their heads. Only Aaron remained untouched. The planet looked peaceful from above, covered in shining black oceans and floating crystal landmasses. But as soon as they touched down, everything changed. An ambush. A swarm of unknown machines attacked the ship. Before anyone could react, he had barely escaped. Smoke filled his lungs. Fire chased him down the halls. He remembered grabbing a medkit, a stunner, and diving through a side hatch before the entire rear of the vessel exploded. He ran for hours, through dark alien terrain. The soil pulsed under his boots. Strange energy shimmered from the plants. He didn't know what was watching him, but he knew something was. Then she appeared, not with weapons, not with words. She simply stood between him and death, tall, pale. Her hair glowed like moonlight. Her eyes were like galaxies, deep, swirling, endless. The machines froze. They didn't move, as if waiting for her command. The girl raised a hand, and the machine simply turned and vanished into the mist. Aaron collapsed, more from confusion than exhaustion. When he woke, she was still there, sitting across from him, watching in silence. A flickering campfire burned between them, but she hadn't lit it. It burned without heat, without smoke-like. A memory made real. Her voice was soft when she finally spoke. "You should not be here. They will come back. And this time, I will not stop them unless you see what I see." He didn't understand, but she reached out and placed her hand against his forehead. In an instant, his mind was no longer his own. He saw her world. He saw her people. And he felt everything. A planet filled with beauty turned into a battlefield. Cities made of light and sound, shattered by endless war. Children hiding in silence while skies burned. He couldn't look away. His chest tightened. The pain wasn't just in her vision, it was real, deep, like something had pierced his heart. Her people hadn't attacked them. They were defending what was left. She pulled her hand back. Tears shimmered in her eyes. Her body trembled. She hadn't shown him that to scare him, but to beg for help. Aaron breathed heavily, sweat dripping down his neck. He looked around. The alien fire still danced without flame. The girl didn't move. She waited. And somehow, even though he still didn't know her name, Aaron nodded. "Call on asterisk." The girl stood and walked toward the crystal trees, her bare feet leaving no marks on the ground. Aaron followed her, still shaken by what she had shown him. He wanted answers, and more than that, he wanted to help. The land around them changed as they moved. The sky pulsed with soft red light. Strange shapes floated through the air like jellyfish made of glass. They passed broken towers, half submerged in glowing liquid that hummed with a low tone. "This was our capital," she said, stopping beside a cracked pillar. "We built it with light and harmony. Then the harvesters came. They wanted our source. They wanted the core of our spirit." Aaron looked around at the shattered ruins. Buildings once alive with energy now stood hollow and dark. He saw scorch marks and signs of struggle. Whatever had attacked this place had not come for conquest, had come for erasure. The girl's fingers brushed the broken wall. A projection burst forth, ghostly images of her people dancing in the streets, singing, laughing. Then the sky turned black and fire fell like rain. Screams echoed through the forest of stone. "They erased our name from the stars," she whispered. "They feared what we were becoming, and now we are few, hiding in what's left of memory." Aaron clenched his fists. "Why did they attack your planet? You said they came for your core. What does that mean?" She turned and looked into his eyes. It means they came for our soul. A living energy that connects all my people. What you felt when I touched you, it was just a thread of that bond. He felt the memory of that connection, still burning in his chest. He remembered the sorrow, the hope, the rage, and something else. A warmth that refused to die. The soul she spoke of was not just power. It was love. Suddenly, a loud hum rose from the valley. The girl grabbed Aaron's arm and pulled him behind a wall of sharp crystal. 3 large machines floated down from the hills. Smooth, silent, cold. They scanned the ground with beams of red light. Aaron held his breath. The girl closed her eyes and placed 2 fingers on the crystal. The structure responded, shifting colors and humming softly. Like it understood her fear. The machines passed without seeing them. Once they were gone, the girl released the crystal and slumped against the wall. Her body trembled from the effort. Aaron caught her before she fell. "You're risking everything to help me," he said. "Why?" "Because you saw," she whispered. "And those who see must choose. Either turn away and forget, or stand and fight for what remains." He carried her to a small cave nearby. It was lined with soft glowing moss and strange symbols etched into the walls. Inside, she lit another fire of memory. Aaron placed her gently near the flame. He watched as her skin flickered with patterns, soft waves of pink and blue energy flowing across her arms. The colors pulsed with her heartbeat, revealing more than words ever could. Her pain was still fresh. Her hope was fragile. "Back on Earth, we were told your kind was dangerous," Aaron said. "But they never said you could feel. They never said you could love. What else have they lied about?" The girl looked at him with tired eyes. "They fear what? They cannot control, but fear cannot erase truth. And now you carry a part of our truth inside you." Aaron sat beside her. He felt the weight of her words. She had lost everything, her people, her home, her future. And yet, she still chose to trust him. A stranger from the stars. He reached into his pack and pulled out a small emergency ration. He offered it to her. She studied it carefully before taking a small bite. Her eyes widened at the taste. Then, for the first time, she smiled. It wasn't a large smile, just a soft curve of her lips. But it changed everything. In that moment, she wasn't just an alien. She was someone who had suffered, survived, and still dared to hope. Aaron felt something stir inside him. Not duty, not orders, but something deeper. A promise forming without words. Tomorrow he would ask her name, asterisk. When morning came, the cave's walls glowed softly, casting a calm light over everything inside. Aaron opened his eyes and saw the alien girl already awake. She sat cross-legged near the flickering memory fire, her eyes distant and full of thought. "I never asked your name," he said gently. She turned to him and nodded once, as if she had been waiting for that moment. "My name is Alari," she said. Her name carried a rhythm, like music from a forgotten time. Aaron repeated it softly, and she smiled again, just barely. "Alari?" He said, "I want to help. Tell me what to do. Tell me how I can stop those machines from hunting you down." She stood up and walked to the edge of the cave. Outside, the valley shimmered under the alien sun. In the distance, black towers floated in the air, pulsing with crimson light. "You must go to the core temple," she said. "It holds the last pulse of my people's soul. If they capture it, everything ends. I can no longer enter it. It only opens to those who have seen our pain through the bond." Aaron stepped beside her. "You mean me, because you shared your memory with me." "Yes," she said. "Now you carry our thread. You are part of the soul. You are chosen by the echo." The words didn't frighten him. He had seen enough to believe. The machines weren't random. They hunted by design. Someone had created them to wipe out her race. And now, they were close to finishing it. He packed supplies and took Alari's guidance. They moved through broken forests and silent plains. Strange winds howled, but nothing stirred. The world seemed to hold its breath as they passed. At night, they rested near ancient stones. Alari showed him symbols carved by her ancestors. Each one told a story of joy, of sorrow, of rising from ashes. Aaron couldn't read them, but he felt them. One night, they saw something in the sky. A long streak of fire tearing across the stars. Alari touched Aaron's shoulder. Another memory falls. Another spirit lost. The sky remembers all who vanish. He didn't know what to say. The silence between them said more than words could. Each step forward meant less time left. The machines would not stop. And neither could they. The entrance to the core temple was hidden beneath a lake of glowing water. Alari placed her hand. On the surface, the liquid parted like silk, revealing a spiral path beneath. Aaron went first. The tunnel shimmered around him, walls pulsing with soft blue light. He felt a hum through his bones, like something ancient was singing beneath the surface. At the center of the temple stood a crystal heart, suspended in air. It pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat. Light flowed from it in all directions. Aaron stepped forward, unsure what would happen next. Alari stopped at the edge of the chamber. I cannot go further. Only the one touched by the bond can reach it. But be warned, the echo will test you. Aaron nodded. He approached the core. With every step, his memories twisted. He saw Earth in ruins, his crew screaming, fire around him. He saw Alari's people fall again and again. Voices filled his ears. Doubts, regrets. But he kept walking. He remembered her touch. He remembered her tears. He remembered that smile. By the fire, when he reached the core, it opened like a flower of light. Energy flowed into him, not burning but embracing. The pain of her people, the songs of their past, the whispers of every soul that had ever lived on this world entered him. He dropped to his knees, not in fear but in understanding. The echo wasn't a weapon. It was memory. It was life. It was love made eternal through pain. He placed his hands on the glowing structure. I will protect this. I will carry it. You are not forgotten. The chamber lit up. A wave of energy burst from the core, traveling through the land like a signal of hope. Far above, machines paused mid-flight. Their lights flickered. Something inside them broke. For the first time, they stopped moving. Aaron stood and turned back toward Alari. She was crying but smiling through it. You have awakened the soul, she said. The light from the core temple did not fade. It spread across the ground like living fire, wrapping itself around every broken stone, every ruined tree, every forgotten path. Aaron stood tall beside Alari. His heart beat with something new. He didn't feel like a visitor anymore. He felt like a thread tied into something ancient and powerful. She reached out and touched his hand. Her skin shimmered softly, as if the soul of her people flowed just beneath the surface. You changed it, she said. You woke the heart of my world. He looked around. The sky above had shifted. Where once it was dark and cold, now light shimmered like dawn. The machines were no longer hunting. But they were not gone. A sudden tremor shook the ground. A deep pulse echoed across the hills. The temple began to crack. Not from the echo but from something far greater. Alari's eyes widened. They found us, she whispered. The ones behind the machines. The ones who created the harvesters. They fear what you've awakened. Aaron stepped in front of her. Let them come. I'm not running anymore. You can't fight them with weapons, she said. They were built from our fallen. They know our strength. They twist our memories into blades, he thought for a moment. Then he looked at the crystal heart still glowing behind him. Then we fight them with what they fear most. We fight them with truth. Alari nodded. She knelt beside the core and placed both hands against it. A circle of light surrounded her, then Aaron. Their minds were pulled once more into the bond. This time he saw everything. The creation of the harvesters, the betrayal, the destruction, and the face of the one who led it all. A figure wrapped in black armor, once a friend to Alari's people. They called him Veoran, she said. He offered peace, then stole our voice. He controls the machines. He erased whole cities with a thought. And now he comes for you. Aaron felt rage rise in his chest. Not the rage of war, but the fire of injustice. Then show me how to stop him. She placed a glowing stone in his hand. This is a seed of our soul. Carry it. When he comes, let him see, let him feel. Let the truth destroy his lies. A deep roar split the sky. The ground above the temple shattered. From the clouds descended a massive black vessel, shaped like a spear of shadow. Its engines burned red and silent. Alari pulled Aaron into the temple's final chamber. There, walls were filled with songs carved in light. She pressed her palm against the largest symbol. This is the last gate. It leads to the soul's core. But only you may pass through it. What happens if I do? You will become part of our memory. You will no longer be just one. You will be all of us. And through you, we may speak once more. He hesitated. Then he nodded. I came here to deliver supplies. Now I will deliver your truth. Alari stepped back. The gate opened. Light poured into the chamber. The sound of voices echoed soft, layered, endless. The soul of her people was waiting. Aaron stepped through. Inside there was no ground, no sky, just memory. Images floated around him. He saw Alari as a child, her people laughing, singing. He saw them suffer. He saw them rise again. Then he saw Veoran, a shadow among stars, a thief of light, a betrayer. And he saw something else, doubt. Buried deep within the shadow's heart, Aaron raised the seed. The soul responded. It wrapped around him, not like armor, but like purpose. His body glowed. His voice echoed with thousands of others. Above, in the ruined sky, Veoran stood at the edge of his ship. He looked down and saw Aaron emerge, burning with the light of a world he thought he had silenced. And for the first time, Veoran stepped back. Voran's ship hovered like a shadow that refused to break. Red lights spread across the broken land, scanning for movement. But Aaron did not hide. He walked forward with the light of the soul burning around him. Alari watched from the temples, edge, her heart pounding. The machines began to move again, more than ever before. Hundreds swarmed from the clouds and the earth, shaped from pieces of the dead, carrying weapons that hummed with stolen energy. Aaron raised the glowing seed. The machines paused. One by one, their weapons lowered. Their red lights flickered. A whisper passed through them like wind through a field. They felt the soul, and it confused them. Your lies have no power here, Aaron said loudly, his voice steady. I've seen what you tried to bury. Your war ends now. Veoran appeared in the sky, stepping forward through a portal of dark flame. His armor reflected nothing. His voice echoed with false calm. You are a stranger to this world. You don't belong to the soul. You don't know the price of survival. Aaron looked at him without fear. I saw what you did. You promised peace and delivered death. You silenced their voices. But now their truth speaks through me. Veoran raised his hand. A beam of pure force shot toward Aaron. It struck the soul light around him, but it did not break. Instead, it spread into a wave of energy that pushed back the machines. The earth cracked beneath them. Mountains shifted. A ring of light burst from Aaron's feet. The air filled with the sound of songs long forgotten. It wasn't a weapon, it was memory, alive and angry. Veoran took a step back. You think memories can win wars? He said, with rising frustration. You think love will stop me? No, Aaron said, but it will stop those who follow you. They will see, they will feel. and they will choose what you tried to steal from them. The machines began to shake. Some collapsed. Others turned and walked away. The soul had touched them. They remembered what they once were. They were not just weapons. They were stolen minds, Vioran screamed. His voice cracked like stone splitting. He launched forward in a burst of black energy. Aaron stood firm. The seed in his hand pulsed once more. A beam of light struck Voran's armor, and for a second, Aaron saw his real face. Not a monster, not a god, but a man broken by fear, twisted by power, and hollow inside. Vioran fell to his knees. His armor peeled away, piece by piece. The machines around him did not move. They did not protect him. They had made their choice. Alari ran to Aaron. Her eyes were wide with awe. You reached him, even him. No one has ever done that. I didn't reach him, Aaron said. The truth did. The soul did. I just carried it. The ground began to glow. The crystal trees around them lit up like stars. A wave of energy moved across the land, healing cracks, restoring life, waking memories buried in stone. Alari fell to her knees and placed her hand on the earth. They are waking, my people's spirits. They are singing again. After all this time they are home. Aaron knelt beside her. The air was filled with light. The machines had stopped. The ship in the sky was gone. Vioran lay motionless, surrounded by silence. He had nothing left to say. The soul of a world had returned. And it had chosen not to take revenge, but to forgive. Alari turned to Aaron. Her eyes shimmered with gratitude. You didn't just save us. You became one of us. The sky above was no longer black. Where there had once been smoke and silence, light now streamed down like hope reborn. The land responded with color. Plants bloomed in places where ash had once ruled. The air no longer whispered of fear. Aaron stood with Alari at the heart of the temple ruins. Around them, the last machines deactivated and lowered to the ground. No longer hunters. No longer weapons. Just quiet statues under the light of the soul. The core pulsed behind them, no longer shaking with pain, but steady and strong. The songs within it had changed. They were no longer cries for help, but voices singing together as one. Alari placed her hand over her chest. They are inside again, whole, together. The soul has returned to every corner of this world. Aaron looked over the hills where broken towers once stood. Now they shimmered with new growth. Trees made of crystal and vines of glowing threads, wrapped around the ruins as if healing old wounds. You should return to your people, Alari said quietly. They'll be looking for you. He shook his head slowly. They didn't believe you were worth saving. They sent me with weapons and orders. I came back with memory and truth. I don't know if they'll want that. She stepped closer, her eyes searching his face. Then stay. You're part of the soul now. You don't belong only to them anymore. Aaron looked at his hands. The glow had faded, but the warmth remained. He could still feel the pulse of the world beneath his feet. He had changed, not by power, but by connection. You're sure I can stay? He asked. Alari nodded. You carry the seed. The bond is permanent. You are one of us. He smiled softly. Not because he had won anything, but because something had been saved. A culture. A spirit. A people once forgotten, now rising again. The survivors of Alari's kind began to return. They came from caves, from deep tunnels, from the sky. Some looked frightened. Some looked tired. But all looked toward the light. Alari led them to the HFY core. She spoke not as a warrior but as a guide. The war is over, she told them. The soul lives again. And this human stood with us when no one else would. They approached Aaron with careful steps. One reached out and touched his arm. Another bowed. None of them spoke, but their eyes were full of meaning. He felt welcome. That night, they built a circle of memory fires. Each flame danced with the story of a fallen soul. But there were also new flame stories being born again, brighter and clearer than before. Alari sat beside Aaron, close enough that their shoulders touched. The others sang in soft tones. Aaron didn't know the words, but he understood every note. "You will live with us now?" she asked. "Yes," he said. "Not as a visitor, not as a hero. Just as one of you." She looked at him for a long time. Then she placed her hand over his. "Then we begin again." He nodded. "Together." As dawn rose over the horizon, the planet breathed new life. The machines were no more. The lies were broken. The silence had ended. The soul had survived because one alien girl dared to share her pain, and one human chose to carry it.